celebrity, not our celebrity. I almost said celebrity. So not celebrity tarot reading, but we're going to get into our Aries reading. So we'll find out all that we can for our month predictions for upcoming October 2022. And we are going first, go hit subscribe. If you have not met me yet, my name is Jordan. It is nice to meet you, Aries. We are going to get started here. I'm going to get the shuffle going on. As I do this, please go ahead and look around Hangman Tarot, check out all the playlists, as well as check that Hangman Tarot member button. All right, Aries, let's find out what's going on for your upcoming month of October. We've got predictions for just general, any kind of past influences that are really surrounding any kind of struggle or experience or anything potentially that you could have ahead for you. So we're going to find out all the good stuff, all the details on it. I think I am going to do just a current. So I just want to get into your current self or your current situation, current experience, whatever that may be. Just finding out, skimming into that top layer of energy. And then we are going to get involved into that tarot. So let's find out current energy. Aries. Okay, so there's definitely something going on. Could have something to do with emotion, love, something that is more or less than that now, and it's more in the place of neediness. Maybe it could be codependency. I feel like we could even be talking about something that has a disconnect or some sort of memory that doesn't feel good to you. Whatever it might be, I feel like you kind of take on a little bit of an unrealistic view. So things don't always kind of turn out how you want them to. So you're always going to be sitting here hanging out, looking at the situation like very odd because you have a high expectation or a specific expectation or unrealistic. And then when it falls, into reality and, the play unfolds, the outcome will be very strange to you. You'll be like, well, what's going on? Why does it look like this? So currently just kind of in a state of that. The harmony's off, the balance is off quite a bit here. All right, let's find out what's going on. Anything that is going on as far as a potential challenge experience. So there is some sort of a conflict that you do have coming up in the month of October. So whatever this conflict is, I feel like it's definitely having all to do with competition of some kind. It could have a competition to do with work or somebody else in specific that you're just competing with. However this unfolds, I feel like there's definitely some sort of purpose or action to it. So you're going to be seeking out almost like the change or whatever changes this. You're going to kind of be determined in that place. But in October, it's going to bring you a lot of annoyance and it's going to really show its face as far as being, some sort of a situation or an issue you put yourself in. So through all this competition or this annoyance or any of these conflicts that you have kind of unfolding for you, especially if it has to do with work or anybody you're like passionate for or somebody that you're spiritually aligned with, whatever that might be. Any of these, I don't know. I feel like the focus could definitely be, if you were to focus more on dreams and wishes and kind of like more about positive energy, I feel like things could shift a little bit for you. Yeah, because in the past you definitely had some sort of, maybe it was disrespect or you were disrespecting somebody, but could have just been like a passive situation or somebody who wasn't aware. And this could be an air sign, could be a fire sign. But I feel like whatever was going on specifically as far as an influence in the past, this situation is unfolding out of the mere fact that this person had no idea what was going on. So, I mean, this person's super knowledgeable, but the knowing was not there kind of surrounding the conflict that you have going on in October. Okay. Anything going on as far as strengths within this situation for the month of October? Okay. So your strengths are, you are confident, you're very passionate, you have direction, you kind of like run towards your goals, run towards the adventure. You like to travel, you like to push through action. And you like to push through energy. So everything inspiring, spiritual, I mean, these are really beautiful things to have. So huge strengths. Anything kind of getting in the way of that or really hashing in on the experience would definitely be your perception. You don't surrender to what it actually is. You appear that way, but the selflessness, that's not actually happening. You're not surrendering to the idea of like just, hanging out and being completely selfless and allowing things to just kind of happen how they happen and just to have a perspective from there. I feel like whenever you're in a pause or a moment of surrender, you kind of wiggle your way out of it. You kind of, change it so it fits your point of view. Okay. Anything going into the future based on the situation. So what can we take from this situation heading in past this circumstance? Okay, so if you get through this situation in October, by the ending of October, going into the next month, you're going to want to like really move on from the situation and not have to deal with it ever again. So to find relief, to find hope, how are we going to do that? Well, I think you should just be extremely practical, gracious as possible within the situation. If you can do this, it is likely that you'll be capable of like kind of disconnecting from the situation or the conflict or whatever has changed things up with whatever person has an involvement here. I do feel like you won't communicate with this person. I don't think any love's really truly being expressed here. I don't think anything is for anybody. I think this is all about you, Aries kind of stuff. So going into this, I just feel like you could be a little more reliable in this situation. I feel like if you want relief, if you want to move on, you want a little hope and, kind of get out of the situation or the conflict that comes up in September, it's definitely going to be something that you're going to have to do. So really just creating and transforming yourself and whatever it is that you do. You could even focus on business. You could even really just look in the mirror and take a minute, try to align yourself or try to figure out who the fuck you is. Because it's okay if you don't know who you are. All right, let's go further into this. I want to find out any suggestions for the approaching month. Pure intention. Try to set your intention for purity. By the time it gets down to the humanness, hopefully it's in an okay space when you're pushing towards a situation. I do feel like if you find yourself in pure intention, you're going to get into a place where you're like, okay, I can find fulfillment this way. Really having faith, really pushing into that fulfillment and trying to find some sort of welcoming as well as a completion to that situation. Okay. Anything going on as far as what we need to know around the situation is definitely having to do with some sort of friendship, disconnect in the friendship. There's a disconnect in the group or community or whatever that might be. 3 of water, and that is in a reverse position. So there was just too many people involved for it to actually work out anyway, but there was a lot of people involved and that could affect it greatly too, but it added to it not growing or not creating. I mean, because at first there was a nurturing part too here. So there was a huge nurturing side to things. Anything that you love or fear going into your month of October. Okay, so you could love somebody who is a water sign. We'll know a little more when we get into your love reading. There definitely could be somebody who's super understanding, super patient, very compassionate individual. I feel like they have a very nurturing side to them, but they're safe. There's like a safe thing about them. Now, this could be a person of a relationship or just like a friendship. However that might unfold, I do feel like this person is making it so that you kind of are like going to be a little more excited about the month of October. So however that unfolds or aligns for you, and I'll tell you more in your love reading. I think fear here is just finding your true self-worth or your even like your self-esteem, I guess. It's just the idea of being recognized or having success terrifies you because then you have to like show yourself on the billboard. You have to show yourself on the star and you have to show yourself and let people recognize you. And then people will be pointing and judging. And then, so there's this huge fear kind of based around that. Okay. Those are kind of going into the month of October. So stop doing that because you're an amazing human. You can do anything you fucking want. You rock the shit out of October and you get recognized for it. Get recognized. Don't fucking hold back on any of that. Likely outcome here or a potential outcome for the month of October. It's not much rest right at the moment or, a likely outcome going into November. So there won't be much rest. I don't feel like you're going to like take a moment to contemplate, adding more structure to your day or even your month. I do feel like it will eventually get to a place of celebration or closure or completion, that issue. But that's kind of up to you, okay? Yeah, and there will be communication about it. And it's going to have all to do with that love or that, that circle, those friends that feel like family, the friendships or the relationships that were being indicated within the reading. It's just showing that there will be some sort of inspiration to reconnect or to reconvene or, to renew, refresh. Communication is definitely along the way here. So adjustments, that's where that would be at, is at the end of your month, going into that beautiful month of November even. All right, let's get into your love reading next. Yada-da, yada-da. Hello, Muskin. All right, love reading, Aries. And this is for singles, or it can align even if you're in a partnership. Maybe something's going on. Just change a few of the words. It will resonate. If it doesn't, that's fine. Come check out any kind of predictions or celebrity readings at Hangman Tarot. Either way, you don't have to like just be here for the zodiac signs, especially if it does not align or it doesn't sit well with you. If you're like, this don't make sense for me, I totally understand. I want it to make sense for me too. So I totally understand. All right, hit subscribe, please, Aries. We are going to get started with our love reading. We're going to find out the main situation within a love or a relationship, okay? This could definitely be some past issues that are coming up. Yep. So anything upcoming in October is definitely dealing with Eight of Swords. That's in a reverse. Six of Pentacles in reverse. We got our Page of Pentacles. That will be in an upright position. I usually say position. Yes, I will. I was going to do a couple of them because they keep being asked for. So I was going to do a couple of them if you want. Okay. So there are some past issues kind of like tagging along in the month of October. No communication. It's not very reliable. So this is probably more or less like kind of like an in over your head type of vibe. Is Six of Pentacles in reverse. So I think you need to be really careful who you're spending money on or giving money to. I feel like there's a taking advantage situation, or maybe there's the energy of feeling like you got robbed, but you did. Okay. And they have a spending issue, or just kind of like you have encountered their most imbalanced layer, if that makes sense. And it is a controlling part, and it could be a side of you also that you're managing too. I don't know what any of this means. I don't know why it's popping up. Okay. So the confidence, though, will grow every time you have a fucking moment like this. So you're just going to be fully experienced from the situation. So anything going on in October as far as your love situation, relationship, however this sits with you or resonates, that's where it's going to go. You're welcome. So that's, I think, mainly what's kind of like influencing the situation is the fact that this is, kind of their most monster self, is somebody who, the past issue is definitely dealing with financials and not, coming through on, the dollar or whatever that you've lent them. So you might have lent them money, or just be careful in general in October. Moving into any kind of real situation within this situation. So what's going on in this love experience? What is the main thing here? The main thing is focusing on money. So again, with the Page of Pentacles, that is definitely indicating to me that the whole situation, the root of the situation, is all coming because there was no change as far as it being required to continue further in this relationship. Money is not going to solve this. Money didn't solve this. Money's not going to solve this. So you're going to have to choose a direction. And so that'll put you at a crossroads eventually. But I mean, I feel like you're focusing on the finances as the root of the issue. I think you're just too focused on that, though. I think that there's something else here. I just think that maybe turning in a new leaf might help you or the other person. Not quite sure, but I definitely feel like you should not distract yourself from the love, experience when you have it upcoming in October. anything kind of from the past that may influence the situation is just not, maybe you didn't do anything about it right away. So whenever you found out or whenever you were dealing with the situation, especially if it was kind of a situation you were like, I'm over this, I don't want to deal with this situation. I do feel like there was some sort of almost like, I'm over it, but I'm also very possessive. I'm also very passive also when dealing with the experience. So this could have something to do with financials between two people. And it could even have something to do with just the external or the ego. So it could have something to do with like, you know, hearing noise of something and just not expressing yourself about it. So you should have done something about it then, because now there's nothing you can do. Okay. Bottom line, nothing you can do. So move the fuck on. So you're going to have to deal with this person in any way that, you know, kind of comes up after that. So let's go into the upcoming. What do we got upcoming for the near future here? So lots of anxiety is popping up. Yeah. So there's a lot of anxiety surrounding this. And I feel like you kind of view it in almost like you want to be the center of the altercation or center of attention type. So I feel like you want to be clear in your truth, but it's like, is it the most positive? Is it the most positive energy, the most warm push that you can put into this? I don't think that it is, because it's going to put you in a place where you're kind of never in a relationship or in the situation ever. I just think that you want to be in the center of it. You don't really want to have a point of view or an opinion or be involved, but you are involved somehow within the situation, which is odd. But the experience, again, your view on the experience is that you're like, I'm good. I'm just, you know, the center of the altercation, but I'm clear in my truth. It's weird. I don't understand what this means. And this has a lot to do with your trauma, and it's bringing you a lot of anxiety. Again, just kind of that hopeless feeling. And especially at nighttime, you definitely are digging into this at night. So, I mean, you're almost in a place where you could kind of complete this. So maybe communicate with your person, whether this person, again, is a friend or a lover or somebody in business. Make sure to check in and tune in with this person. I know you don't want to talk about it, but maybe that will make it go away. It's just a thought. All right. Let's get into what's influencing this relationship on the outside. What are the external things going on? There is some lies here. 4 cups in reverse. We also have our hanged man in reverse, and the star is in reverse. So anything kind of surrounding this or actions to take, I feel like there's definitely you needing to take a step back. So you're going to find some lies and deceptions when you get into October, or somebody's going to find out about it. And again, this is definitely having and indicating all to do with this relationship. So kind of ponder where you're headed, or think about the things that you want to do before you get to October. Because I mean, when you get there, you're going to be like, is this it? I mean, yeah, like that's it, because you didn't do shit. So whatever it is, again, I do feel like any actions that you're going to take are you kind of just wanting to really see it to see it. You want to control it. You don't want to allow anyone to, you know, like kind of control it themselves. You need to let that go. You need to surrender to this, because if you were to take a step back, if you were to take a moment, I think you would shift your perception of what's going on. Also, likely outcome here. This is the final outcome. You could even talk to this person, because a new trust in a relationship is gained, whether it's with that person or this person, not quite sure because it didn't indicate that. But I feel like any person or situation here, you're going to have a little bit of an illusion of them. So that's why you have all this trust in them, is because you actually don't look at them fully without some weird fucked up filter. Okay. And this might be because of any kind of like mental instability, mental fog, you know, mentality of victim mode, whatever it might be. I do feel like any high expectations of this person that you have newfound trust in now in the month of October, you're going to be like, oh, this person's so fancy. But if you were to take those glasses off that you put on when you met the person, you would really understand what's going on here. Okay. So an illusion of just the situation, I think, in general, too. I think that you need to have a conversation with this person, maybe get to an understanding, find different points of view. I don't know. Maybe fix that, because that was a scary reading. Jeez, it felt creepy. Okay, I have to go. I'm going to be back with Taurus. Aries, please enjoy the rest of your month and enjoy beautiful October. I will see you guys next month for general and love predictions. Share and like this video, please. Post it on your social media, of course, and check out my social media. It's in the details below. Get a hold of me there. If you have a question or comment or request for a celebrity tarot reading, leave it over there or get a hold of me there. All right. I got to get out of here. Please enjoy your guys' beautiful Friday. Happy Friday.